So I am Larry Willett, and it is December 17th at 9:04, and I'm calling to order the quarterly meeting of the Home Inspection Licensing Board. So has everyone had a chance to review the minutes from the September 17th meeting?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Did anyone have any questions, corrections, or anything about those minutes?
I do not.
Look okay.
No, I don't.
Look okay on my end as well. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
I move to approve.
I
Mark,
second it.
second. Tim, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. So do we have any concerns or comments about anything from any person that is present on the meeting today?
I do not.
Okay. Okay. We have the DCP Investigation Division. They have some information for us.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. This is Janita Hamill.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning to your board. You should have received the home inspector report for the time frame reporting September 1st, 2024 through October 31st of 2024. We received one new complaint that is open and under investigation, and we closed one complaint with the special investigator doing that, and it's unresolved. It's a dispute of facts. The home inspector involved offered money, the refund, which is in their contract, and the complainant ignored the offer. So it's a dispute of facts. There were no violations to the home inspector, and our investigator notified the consumer they have a civil matter if they want to go to court.
Okay. Now, was there another entry that you mentioned?
Right, we received a new complaint. It's open. And
Okay.
the only thing I can do is just let the boards and commissions and the councils know that we
Okay.
received one. It's open and we're working on it at this time.
Okay. So that's good. Any questions about that, Tim, Mark?
No?
Okay.
No.
Good to go.
All right.
Mr. Chairman, this is Pamela Brown, Director of Investigations. I just
Yes.
wanted to mention that we have concluded our project that was assigned to us by the board to look at some of the contractors who are offering or believed to have been offering home inspection services without a proper credential.
Right.
And the majority of those, in conclusion, I can just say that I think the cleanup really needs to take place at these organizations, because I just see that they kind of continue to keep them on long after they have the credential holder is no longer practicing. Though we did have someone come before you over the last couple of months that you've dealt with them. However, for the majority of the people listed on the websites that we looked at, it appeared that they are perhaps being just added on continuously by the organization. So if you do have contacts within those organizations, that they really should be checking or cross-referencing our e-license database, which is open to the public to look at, to see if they are still active on our credential, on our website.
Okay.
What organizations are we referring to?
I believe NACHI, and there was another one. I don't have it in front of me right here. I can look. Chairman Willett had mentioned two of those, and that's where we looked. Let me just see if I can find it.
Okay. Okay. So our recourse is to, I know we can't force them to pull names off their site, I don't think.
How are the organizations going to know that they're not licensed anymore anyways?
Yeah. Well, are these guys that were licensed and have since retired, or did they just never obtain a state license? Do we know that?
We did not find anyone who had obtained a state license. They were members of these organizations. I don't know if they continuously pay fees or what they might do, but they were not actively practicing. And we visited some website. I will tell you that we did have a couple. So it's like 13 of them, I believe, in total. But a couple were addressed. And then I know someone came before you to deal with their, I guess their supervisor passing away and such, but.
Yeah, that was a special circumstance, yeah.
Right.
Okay. Okay. But these individuals that were licensed in Connecticut are no longer listed with the department's site, or it shows that they're expired, or what would it show if someone were to look?
I guess a myriad of different situations. Like one person is now into home improvement, so we just made sure we looked at the website to make sure home inspection wasn't offered, things like that. There's just different career paths.
Okay. All right. I don't know that there's really anything we can do about that. If an organization continues to list their members, that's what they're going to do. It's up to the consumer to, I guess.
Larry, technically, they can be members even without having a license, can't they? I mean, that.
Yeah, they can.
Yeah, I mean, that
Yeah.
doesn't. Yeah.
Not.
Our concern wasn't our concern more the people from coming out of state and doing
No.
inspections here without that wasn't.
No, that was always, well, that's been an ongoing question, and I think we've answered that.
Okay, I didn't know if it was the same situation or was it that was a different topic.
No. What we came across was inspectors that had websites that were advertising as doing home inspections, and these are their specific company websites, and they listed their credentials, with organizations, etc., but they weren't licensed in Connecticut, and that's what I think led to this investigation. So I don't know if a guy's retired, if he's still a home improvement contractor, because they were both contractors and then advertising as being inspectors.
Right.
So I don't know if they should be allowed to do that on a website if they're not licensed. If they're retired and they're not licensed, I mean, seems like they would close that part of the website, but I don't know what they're still doing. Doesn't seem like that should be something they would advertise.
Well, if you're doing a search for a specific home inspector or their business, it's possible that if they take the website down, that information still lives on a server somewhere. And if you do a search, it's possible that you could pull up a page that shows that that person has a license, and it may appear that they are still in business, but it's almost impossible to try and go back and have someone have that data pulled off a server somewhere, because they may have been using a hosting company or something. I don't want to go down into the rabbit hole with that, but it's possible that that's kind of what might have been happening and could have been showing up. It's very difficult to get that information removed from the internet, because it lives on a server, and if you search for something, you may get a hit that will come back with old information on it.
Were these individuals contacted by the department to see if they're in fact actually retired, or if they're still offering services?
Yes, and we did come across in one situation a website issue, and that was addressed. So we were looking for compliance, always. So we did, where we did not, those cases might, like, maybe one or two remain open, but for the most part, we found that they were either not in business, retired. It was just the websites. And like you said, that they can continue with their membership. However, that is if someone's from the public is going to look at those websites or those from those organizations, they might try to select someone off of that website. So it could be a little bit confusing for the public, for a
Right.
consumer, but if that is their policy to allow people to remain members, then that's
Yeah.
what they can do.
Okay. Okay. So it doesn't appear though that it's a, significant issue. Do you agree with that from the investigation?
That is not a significant issue, is that what you're saying?
Right, right.
Yes.
Okay. All
I
right.
agree.
So I think really a consumer has to do their due diligence to be comfortable with who they're hiring. And if should something go wrong down the road after an inspection, I think that, that would shake out. And if it was determined that the individual didn't have a license and he did an inspection and made some mistakes and stuff, I guess that would, come out, and perhaps it would be part of that follow-up investigation that a consumer might make. But I don't know, as a board or as a department, if there's anything else we can do about that.
Well, if you come across any of these advertisements or you do hear someone who may not be licensed, you can send it in, refer it from the
Right.
board, and then it goes to supervising special investigator Janita Hamill's unit for investigation.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, thanks for doing that, that investigation. Any other questions, Tim, Mark, anything?
No. That's
Okay.
good.
All right. Well, thanks again
Thank
for
you.
doing that. Okay. I don't see any old business on the agenda. I don't think we have any old business to discuss. We have new business. We have the meetings, our scheduled meetings for the quarterly meetings for 2025 are listed. And then there was something added to the agenda. I didn't see that until this morning. I didn't go through very much of it. It had to do with housing code inspections. Did you guys get a chance to look at any of that?
I looked through it. I read through some of the correspondence and I read through some of the documents that were provided by this James Strayat person.
Yep.
Supporting his claim or request that these housing code inspections are going to qualify him for his 100 towards his licensing.
Right.
And then providing job descriptions to support that, there's some sort of equivalence between the building code inspections or the qualifications for those jobs and the requirements for getting your license to be a home inspector.
Right. Then there was some correspondence with Bob Kuzmich prior to
Yeah.
his retirement, right?
It goes back to, I believe, 2021 or 2022.
Yeah.
The end of
Okay.
maybe, yeah, I think that
Okay.
what it was.
All right. So did Bob's correspondence indicate that he thought that material would qualify? Did I
I
read
don't
that, or?
I don't know if I saw anything that would definitively that he said it was okay or not okay, but
Yeah.
I mean, I have some concerns about it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if these housing inspectors, what standards they're following.
First of all, yeah, there's no standard. It's code compliance, which is not what a home inspection is. So I have some concern there. I mean, maybe there's some technical ability there, but I don't know if doing those types of jobs, code enforcement and health code enforcement is going to translate directly into being a home inspector.
Right. All right.
And their
Well, this
commercial,
individual was, I'm sorry,
their
go ahead.
their commercial props mostly. I don't think there's, what Bob stipulated in one of his emails is that in order to get your license, you have those 100 inspections or however many are supposed to be inspections of residences, not commercial buildings.
Right.
And that's where there's a difference. These are,
Okay.
probably multi apartment buildings, which would, anything over 4, I think exceeds, what we're talking about for home inspection.
Right.
Plus,
Right.
they could be commercial properties. They could be all different types of buildings.
Okay, all right. Well, why don't we, I suggest maybe we delay any action on this. Give everyone a chance to read the information that was given to us. And then we can, bring it up at our next meeting as to, whether or not we think, these types of inspections will comply. That's my opinion. That you guys have anything to offer on
Well, I
that?
just think if this is a one-off and we're going to, let this guy use these inspections to get a license and setting a precedent, and, is that going to change the licensing requirements moving forward, that they're going to be able to do this for anybody?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know at this point. Like I say, I just saw this morning and I haven't looked at it at all. So I'm thinking that it probably won't comply, but I would like to move a decision to next meeting so that we get a chance to look at all the information that was sent to us.
I'll second that.
Okay. All right. So why don't we do that then? All right. Is there any correspondence? Any other comments or concern by anybody who's attending the meeting today? Looks like not. Okay. So do we have a motion to adjourn? There's nothing else?
Yeah, I move to adjourn.
I'll
Okay,
second.
second,
Second.
Tim, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, I think that covers us for now. Thanks for attending, everyone. Have a great holiday.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Merry
All right.
Christmas.
Happy
everybody.
holidays.